Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast that brings you the latest news and updates from around the world. I'm your host, Barbara, and I'm excited to share today's top stories with you. We're starting off with a big story out of France, where former President Nicolas Sarkozy has been convicted of criminal association and sentenced to 5 years in prison. This conviction is making headlines not just in France, but around the world, as it marks a significant development in the country's justice system. We'll be taking a closer look at this story and what it means for French politics and beyond. But that's not all. We're also following other major stories today, including the indictment of former FBI boss James Comey, who has been charged as part of an investigation into alleged wrongdoing by former U.S. President Donald Trump. This is a complex and developing story, and we'll be bringing you updates as more information becomes available. In other news, Russia's actions in Ukraine are under scrutiny once again, with reports emerging of mass child deportations that have sparked widespread condemnation. We'll be examining the implications of this story and what it means for international relations. We're also tracking developments in the Middle East, where tensions between Israel and Palestine remain high. The Palestinian leader's speech at the UN has made headlines, and we'll be analyzing the key takeaways from that address. And finally, we're taking a look at how Italian papers are reacting to Sarkozy's prison sentence, as well as a number of other stories from around the world, including Nigeria, where the Supreme Court has allowed a late appeal in a high-profile blasphemy case. We'll be diving deeper into all of these stories and more throughout the show. Our goal is to bring you balanced and unbiased reporting so you can stay informed about what's happening in the world. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're diving into a complex and developing story that has garnered international attention. Former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair is reportedly in discussions to lead a transitional authority in Gaza, following a potential ceasefire. This proposal, which has been discussed by U.S. President Donald Trump and Arab leaders at the UN, aims to establish a temporary governing body with UN backing and Gulf support. According to sources, including the BBC, Blair has been involved in high-level planning talks with all parties to end the war and shape the post-conflict future for the Palestinian territory. The idea is that this transitional authority would oversee Gaza before it's handed back to Palestinian control. It's worth noting that Blair's office has stated he wouldn't support any plan that displaces the people of Gaza. As we explore this story, it's essential to acknowledge the intricacies and sensitivities surrounding the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The situation in Gaza is dire, with thousands of lives lost and many more affected by the ongoing violence. Any potential solution must prioritize the well-being and safety of all individuals involved. It's also important to consider the implications of international recognition of Palestinian statehood, which has been a topic of discussion among world leaders. The UK, Canada, Australia, France, and Denmark have formally recognized Palestine as a state, while Israel and the US have expressed criticism. As we navigate this complex issue, it's crucial to remain informed and engaged. We'll continue to monitor developments and provide updates as more information becomes available. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're wrapping up today's show with a look at the latest developments in global politics. As we've been following, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been making headlines with his recent visit to the United States. In a highly anticipated speech at the United Nations, Netanyahu addressed the General Assembly amid growing tensions and criticism from the international community. Now, let's take a closer look at what happened. According to reports, Qatar's Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani labeled Israel as a rogue government during his own speech to the Assembly, citing concerns over Israeli actions in Gaza. Meanwhile, Secretary General Antonio Guterres expressed deep concern over the ongoing conflict, calling for an end to violence and respect for international law. Netanyahu's visit also included a meeting with President Donald Trump at the White House, where they discussed various issues, including the push for recognition of a Palestinian state at the UN. While both leaders have close ties, there are indications that they may have differing opinions on key matters, such as annexation of territory in the West Bank. It's worth noting that Netanyahu's travel plans were also affected by an arrest warrant issued by the International Criminal Court, which led to an indirect route being taken to avoid certain countries' airspace. The Israeli government has denied any wrongdoing and maintains that the ICC lacks jurisdiction over its officials. As we consider these developments, it's essential to approach the topic with nuance and understanding of the complexities involved. The situation in the Middle East is multifaceted, with various perspectives and interests at play. Our goal at Barbara's Bulletin is to provide you with a balanced view, highlighting different viewpoints without taking sides. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.